Hello and welcome. I'm Craig Harrington, and today's topics are some suggested solutions to America's economic plight. There are many things going wrong in the United States, and many things that our government needs to do to correct this downturn. Primarily, we would be well served to create an official cabinet position for an economic minister. This individual would be tasked with developing an industrial policy for the administration and would be subject to congressional approval. Our current system allows the top economic aides to the President of the United States to circumvent both congressional and popular approval. This economic minister would create conditions to encourage domestic manufacturing and production. This person would be able to suggest appropriate tax, tariff, and subsidy measures to keep our industries competitive internationally. The position would also oversee the protection of our economy from foreign predation and would lead an industrial research and development division of our government in a Manhattan Project-style effort to revolutionize American industry. The Japanese economic system is driven in a very similar way by its Ministry of International Trade and Industry. The U.S. would be well served to copy this example. The United States should also alter its tax structure pertaining to certain vital or strategic industries. Heavy manufacturing, steel, cement, and ore production, transportation, defense contracting, and others would all fall into this protected area. They would be granted faster depreciation on capital investments, giving them a reason to purchase and build equipment here in the U.S. Perhaps the most important change for the United States is pursuing some way to get out of its current agreement with the World Trade Organization. The WTO supplants American economic policy and domestic trade laws with international interests who are not looking out for the United States. The World Trade Organization consistently rules against the U.S., and we can no longer put up with it. The same can be said about the North American Free Trade Agreement. NAFTA gives incentives for our companies to relocate their jobs and their production out of our country. We need a new approach which puts America's best interests first. Similarly, we must either put our own value-added tax system in place or force our trade partners to abandon theirs. The VAT unfairly subsidizes foreign producers and repays them for exporting overseas. It simultaneously places what amounts to a tariff on all imported goods. How is the United States supposed to compete with European companies when they have such massive tax advantages over our facilities? The United States is listlessly wandering through a globalized world, and it's doing so without any direction or complete analysis. We must analyze all of our foreign trade deals in minutia before agreeing to them, and we must reserve the right to nullify any agreement if we stop receiving appreciable economic benefits from it. We need to use selective tariffs to block intrusive foreign imports while protecting American workers. This will not start a trade war. The trade war has already begun. The least we could do is give our companies a fighting chance against their international competition. The United States needs to curtail the subsidization of foreign companies. Many U.S. states give millions of dollars to insourced companies instead of encouraging homegrown production. We need to stop the sale of important U.S. companies. The United States has lost nearly 17,000 companies to foreign interests in just 30 years. We will be left with no wealth or productive capacity in the future if we continue selling our profits to foreign interests. American companies have lost their edge. They are no longer competitive against companies from around the globe. And we must create a system here in the United States that encourages and fosters their development. This would lessen our dependence on foreign goods and restabilize our economy by cutting back on the import deficit, which drains hundreds of billions of dollars from our economy every year. We are losing the international economic war, not because we are incapable as a people, but because our government has thus far refused to address the problem. If we fail to act, there soon may be nothing left to save. On behalf of concerned citizens, I'm Craig Harrington with EconomyInCrisis.org News.
Wake up, America! Open up your eyes! Wake up, America! Wake up!
Produced by EconomyInCrisis.org.